right, we are live. Okay. That does it. Now we're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what's happening with all the drones? Everybody talks about these drones everywhere, like we're getting invaded by aliens.
What?
Yeah, they're everywhere in the sky. There's reports all over North America, Portugal, Brazil. Little flashing lights in the sky, glowing orbs, super fast UFOs. There's people in the military coming out saying, yeah, one was flying right next to me. And of course, I'm laughing at the whole thing because it was in 2021 that Elon Musk had developed a rocket that could go up and operate as a satellite. But the satellite was actually a projector, able to project images into the sky. And it's used for advertisements. That's what it's actually. It's basically going to be a great big billboard to show us advertisements in the sky. So when you have that happening, and then you've got, the for the last 2 years, we hear about this Project Bluebeam, and or maybe even more than that, probably even 5 years. Project Bluebeam, which is another operation to be able to project images into the air. Knowing that that's been a thing for a while, the military has said that that would likely be one of the greatest threats to national security because it would just create so much panic. So, isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting how it all is coming together here right as Trump gets to be elected and put in office?
It's funny.
You haven't seen them? You haven't seen any of the footage?
They don't like me in the country here. Why would they worry about us over here in the country?
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I was just wondering if you'd seen any of the footage like on social media or anything.
Oh no, I don't. You know what? I've been staying away from that crap.
Good. Smart.
Yeah, the less I know, the better, happier
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Less I know, the happier I am.
Yep.
Seen the drones, Jennifer?
Well, not personally, but yeah, I'm up on all. Well, I'm not up on all of it. I heard there's stuff going on.
Yeah, everything's
alien
going on.
invasion, or I don't know what.
Good you know times. What I think it is. I'm of course very much opposed to anything the government says is happening because that's just a lie. But I was just telling Audrey, it's hilarious to watch because in 2020 when the first crisis came to our land, I knew what it was because I had already been watching and studying all these other viruses that had been, the H1N1 and hantavirus and all of those. I mean, hantavirus, geez, that was in the 90s, wasn't it? Just one thing after the other, hearing about it and hearing about how terrible it is and how sick everyone's going to get and we need to get more vaccinations. I was just like, yeah, this is where we're headed. So when
You just see the
2020 came
hype.
around, it was just like, oh yeah, of course they're going to use this COVID-19 to blame the stock market crash. Of course they're going to do that. They need it to do that because otherwise other people are going to be asking, why did the stock market crash? And then they'll find out the answer. Well, what's interesting, the reason I go on and on and on about that is because in 2021, Elon Musk said, he said it. I'm going to grab this because this is pretty important. This was a 2021 article. Oh, let's bring back to here, and then I can get this to minimize there, and then I can share my screen like so, and then you'll see. Here we go. This article is from August 9th, 2021. SpaceX will launch a satellite to display advertisements in orbit with Canadian startup GEC. Ad space will be purchasable with 5 different types of tokens that determine the shape the ad will take and its duration. So they're going to fly this thing up in the sky and project advertisements back down on it. That sounds like they could probably do anything with it. You know, they could make an advertisement look like an invasion.
Well, that's the whole thing, the whole hologram stuff. They've already
Yeah.
done experiments on people on that, right? So
Yeah.
we know they're figuring out what's going to work and what people are going to accept and all that stuff, as they always do.
Yeah. And they discovered that Trump was absolutely the best one at ushering pandemics and catastrophes and disasters. Like, he's the best at it.
Oh, yes.
And so this is just lining up. So SpaceX, you know, you take a look at X and how Elon bought it. He didn't buy it because he wanted free speech. He wanted it because the Republicans didn't have a social media platform with which to use the same techniques that the left used to manipulate the election.
Influence.
So they
Yeah.
that's all they needed.
Yeah.
And then on top of it all, he's also got the light show plan, right?
It's like
He's
his brother or something is highly in that whole. He has a company that does the drones that make the light shows.
Of course.
Imagine that.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's funny.
It is.
And of course, the people are, you know, the comments that people are making about them is just hilarious. You know, the government better do something about this. Why isn't the government saying anything about it? Well, how come the military, after all these trillions of dollars that we've spent on our military, how come they can't identify what these things are?
Because they're the ones doing it, you loonies. Like,
oh yeah,
I know.
Audrey's got the right idea. She just ignores it all. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with us. It's just hilarious to watch.
Well, see, I find out. I don't have to look at it or read it. Go to seeing it. Somebody tells me, have you heard? I'm like, no, and I don't care.
Nope. But here we go. Go ahead and tell me all about it.
Yeah. Well, just look at how much I give.
Yep.
That much. The little wooden fuck.
Yep. I got a friend. Maybe that's what you've got too, but I got a friend that's got a little jar of them, and then every once in a while he pulls one out and gives it to me. Here's a fuck for you.
That's how much I give. I worry about my friends, right? Like myself and my friends. And I want to know what's going on with them, you know, and if shit's affecting them, then okay. I'll do something about it, right? But if it's out in a big scopy world now, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just done. Done.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the same position too. I actually felt that urge to speak out, you know, and to call up people who I knew that were concerned. And let them know. Oh, no, don't worry about it, guys. You know, it's just Elon with his satellite, fancy satellites projecting images down, right? And some of them might not be. Some of them might actually be physical objects. But we all know that nothing about it is as it's not as bad as they say it is, right? We just know that because what are they? They're just using crises to corral people into more restrictions. That's what this is all about. The last thing they can have happen is disclosure. And so they have to get the matrix, right? This construct around us to distract us with all kinds of things. You know, did you remember Simon and Garfunkel, the Sound of Silence?
Mm-hmm.
In that, there's a line about the neon lights.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't talking about the yeah, they tell us what's happening. Totally.
In music, in movies, and like, I mean, look at the Men in Black. There's aliens everywhere.
Yeah.
The Simpsons.
Or Independence Day, right?
The Simpsons. Yeah. I actually found out something very interesting about The Simpsons is that every episode actually has a piece of disclosure in it, whether it's prominent or not. Every single episode. And I didn't know that. A couple weeks ago, I found out. I knew about, you know,
for them, right?
Well, yeah, for sure. It's wonderful.
Because they have to tell us what's happening before they do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, they would be guilty of destroying the nations. They have to tell the people they're going to destroy them, and then they're allowed to destroy them. They can't destroy them without letting them know that's going to happen. That would just be mean. Anyways, we're going to do some quick analysis here. I'm going to jump into some new assets that I'm looking at, two in particular. I said that I was going to look at more mid-cap ranges and find some of the opportunities that are behind the times, so to speak, the ones that are delayed a little bit. But I want to show just how awesome what's happening with silver right now. And so let's go ahead. Well, silver and gold again. So there we go. Silver, as you can see, never did reach that all-time high, denied it. And now we've got our classic head and shoulders formation coming into play here, where this is the left shoulder. There's the head. Here's the right shoulder. Finding that same resistance level both times on the shoulders. We are now headed down, forming a new low, likely to continue this pattern. Now it looks like we've dipped below this pivot point here. So this will likely now become resistance as we continue the price word down, which is awesome. I want the price to go as low as possible. Even though I already got some gold and silver, I still want the value to go down as low as possible because I do plan on buying when all this bubbling is going up is over. Gold, same thing. We've now got coming underneath this point of resistance. Well, that was support before, but now it's resistance coming in underneath. Haven't formed a new low like we did with silver yet, but I'm pretty certain we're going to be heading down, especially after what happened here. Remember what I said? Whenever we see these markets go down, we see gold usually go up a little bit. Well, over the last little while, this has found some support. So because it found some support, gold is likely going to start dropping again. It was going down like the markets. This is the Dow Jones. Markets were going down during this whole time here. And gold actually had a rally during that up in here, right? And then it eventually came back down to settle and then now dipping underneath. So I believe that we're going to start to see this flip again. Now the price will come back up. You think about it, how long the Dow Jones was going up fairly consistently. It's about time that there was a retracement. In fact, the retracement could very well be even longer coming to here. We'll see. We'll see. Chaos nonetheless. Here's the crypto 30 doing its thing. Another one that I want to put up here is crypto cap. I like this one here because this is actually not the top 30, but total market cap. So all the cryptos minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we have a very similar pattern here. And it's great because here we can see this has been an interesting, like a point of interest for the price action in the past. We can even go back in time and we can see just how much resistance this line has provided in the past. So therefore, we are likely finding support here. Now, if it does continue to go down, we'll likely find support back over here. This is the last high that really gave us an edge in the market. And so it's very possible that it'll still come down to here. Doesn't matter. I'm going to keep on buying. Definitely if it goes down that far. Ethereum had a little bit of over the last day. Oh no, that's the 2-hour chart. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. Oh yeah, so here we go. Ethereum bottomed out there. Hasn't created a new low yet. We have to wait to see whether or not we get 2 bars to, there we go. That's the low that we're waiting for to see. If this can get another bar over to the side here, especially on the daily chart, if we can get another bar to the right of this one staying up, then we can be sure that this is a low. This low is higher than the previous low, this high being higher than the previous high. We are in a bearish trend right now. Even though markets went down, we are still in a bullish trend, not bearish. So we're doing fine. ADA dipped into our area where we had support, resistance in the past. This was the old 2024 high. So this was all during 2024, and then bang, election, and now we've come back to find support at the previous 2024 high. So time to load up. Let's go for it. I'm not going to go through the rest of these unless anybody's got questions. Go ahead and throw them in chat if that's the case. If you have any questions about these ones, I want to talk about 2 new ones today. It's going to be a little bit shorter of a market analysis. I'm going to go up to the mountains today. Coin market cap. All right. So the first one I want to talk about is Luna. Luna is a mid-market cap, 300 million, 500 million, fully diluted. So there is some great opportunity for some volatility, but this is what I want to show you.
Is this Luna or Terra?
It's
Luna?
The name is Terra, but Luna is the ticker. LUNA is the ticker, okay. And Terra, TERRA, is the name of the project. This one here, it's another transaction tool, and very great, awesome community. They've got a vibrant community. You can actually even join their Discord, which is a very common app for building community, especially within the crypto space. And not that just because they have a Discord, that means that they're doing great. No, but it's a very active, engaging Discord. So their community's doing great. And the biggest reason why I'm interested in this is if you take a look, it's actually been around. In fact, it came in right at the end of the crypto bubble. This is May of 2022. So already the 2021 crypto bubble had already popped and it was coming back down. And so these guys started in the worst environment you can possibly come into crypto. Coming in at $8, at not $10.17, literally opening this whole project at $10.71. And through the dark night of the soul that all of crypto had to go through, bottomed out at 32 cents. Sitting now at 42. This one here is very attractive simply because as soon as this starts to dilute, it's going to jump the price up. And then from there on, likely to come back to where it was. Well, if it's going to go back to $10 and it's under 50 cents, do the math, that's a 20x to come back to the original valuation. This is the AI bubble and a crypto bubble, real world asset bubble, all wrapped up into one. And Luna is tapping into all of them. So when this takes off, likely to hit this target up here, a 20x. Yes, thank you very much. So I'm going to be actually making a purchase on this later here, well, after market analysis. So if you want to hang out and do it with me, I'd be more than happy. Send me a message if you'd like to have the link to join us live in studio. So that's one. The other one I want to talk about is, this one. I didn't think that this would ever do anything. I thought for sure when I first saw this was back in 2017. Started out in 2017 at $2,000. Market cap is almost $1 billion. Great saturation, 1.1 billion in the fully diluted volume. This one, though, is on a different network. This one's on the BNB network, which is the Binance layer 1 coin. And Zcash, in America, of course, it's Zcash. That's why the initials are ZEC. But in Canada, we actually pronounce that letter correctly. And so I just say Zcash. This one here was actually a fork off of Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. And when it forked off and went down to $43 after being at $20,000 or $2,000, going down to $40, I was like, oh, that's the end of that one. It had a little bit of a blip here in January of 2018. But after that, basically did nothing. You know, it experienced a little bit of fun here in 2021. But word on the street is this one's going hyper. It's going to skyrocket. Again, there will be resistance. Whenever the narrative says it's going to skyrocket, typically meaning it's going to hit some resistance where there has been in the past. Regardless of what occurs, we can be rest assured that when this does pop, we'll likely see much of this be filled. Now, how much? I don't know. But this is a nice setup. If there wasn't the possibility, there would not have garnered this much interest. Almost $1 billion. That's really good. That's a really good opportunity. I'm not going to risk tons on this one. Again, this is why you diversify. This is why you have lots of different holdings. But again, look at $53 right now with a target of 2,000, because that's how much it was when it first got started. And it just hasn't done anything, because this is all development, right? Again, they got to see some of the windfall from the other bubbles, but they were just all in development this whole time. The white paper, oh, look at that. White paper actually has a 404 on it. It's probably just because the what's it called? The link just has to be updated. But here we go. What are they after? They're wanting more encryption on the privacy. So they basically wanted to take what Bitcoin started and turn it into a greater, more secure, more private transactions, where it would even be difficult to trace transactions. Like, but one of the things about cryptos, blockchain, is that the ledger is public. The ledger is transparent. That's part of the reason why there's this security, is because there's the transparency. But these guys are wanting to take it a step further. and they're wanting it to be even more obscured, where you can't trace transactions on the chain because they get scattered around in such a random fashion. Imagine a paper shredder, and it doesn't just shred this way, but it also cuts it off every once in a while, so it makes little tiny confetti. Well, that's basically what's happening in decentralized distribution of data. They'll take a piece of information, like one of the services I've used in the past is Storj, STORJ, and Storj is a place where you can store things on decentralized networks. Now, the reason why this is so awesome is that I'm not going to log in right now. It's been a while since I've used it, but inside here, when you log in, it shows you exactly how many fragments each of your files are split into. It'll take your file. I remember I was using like 2-hour videos. Take that file and literally scatter it across the network around the world. And it would say, this file is fragmented in 800 locations. Imagine that confetti just all powdered across the entire planet. And then when you're ready to look at it, because you're the one with the key, you're ready to look at it, you log in with your wallet, there's your token, boom. All of these little pieces of confetti converge into one point through your key to have that content gathered into one entity so you can see it. But the rest of the time, and for every other viewer out there, it's fragmented across so many pieces, no one can tell what it is. That's decentralization. That's a redistribution of data. Well, what Zcash is after is doing the same thing with the transactions. Now, Cardano does this already, so it's not like it's an innovation. But because of, remember, I'm not here to, find the best company, the one that's going to last the longest. I'm here to make as much money as possible. And for lack of a better term, just take all of the money from the dumb people who don't know anything. So the dumb people are going to be buying up in here, right? They're going to be buying between 1,500 and 2,000 because they don't do anything until we get above that old high, right? But the smart people will come in right now and sell it to those dumb people at the 1,500 to 2,000 level. That's all I'm after. I want to 20x my stuff. So here's a $52 coin, Zcash, and then all we need to do is just come back to fill this up back to its original valuation. Risky? Yeah. But it's less risk, in my mind, less risk because A, they've got the marketing. B, they're on the Binance network. They're going to get tons of exposure. They've got the online community. They've got everything that they need and a vibrant community. They got everything they need to really make a good push at this. So, yes, Zcash, another one. So I'm going to be taking another installment today. And I'm going to split it across Zcash and Luna. And between the two of them, one of them will do well. And I plan on cashing out on that one. Even if I lose one of them, if it goes to nothing and the other one ends up succeeding, I'm still 10xing my money. That's good. This is a good setup. So yeah, that's what I'm doing next. And after, I'm going to go ahead and just make that transfer from the one wallet. I got to go down to my trust, send the money from there up into my computer here so that I can do the trade. But yeah, that's what's going on. Market analysis for today. I know it's a little bit shorter. Didn't cover all the charts, but I wanted to cover those two new assets that I've been watching. And that's it for today. Have a good rest of the day, everyone.